Hello gainers and gorillas, Ralphie here with some fitter philosophy, sharing my journey with you to help your journey. And I'm out for a walk again. It's not quite so sunny as it's been recently. In fact, here in the Irish Sea we've had some heavy rain showers. But it's clearing up now, it's freshened the air. There is a day awaiting, a fresh day awaiting, and we must seize the opportunity to make the most of it. Simple as that. Gainers, life is not a dress rehearsal. It never has been. You get a little bit of practice, but we go this way but once, depending on your views on reincarnation. So we've got to make the most of it. And therein lies a challenge. Now, before I go any further, I just want to point out some sheep. Now you've been wondering, Ralphie, what's sheep got to do with it? Well, these sheep are a unique breed to the Isle of Man. They're called the Lochtan sheep, and they're sort of beige coloured, and they've got a particularly thick woolly fleece which makes very durable garments and a very strong tweed material. And they have this unique feature of sheep in not having 2 horns but 4. They were in fact the sheep that were bred by the Vikings thousands of years ago. How special is that? And they're unique here to the Isle of Man. There they are. Not only that, but we have a unique elevated view of the area called the Bulgham. The Bulgham is home to the Bugan, and the Bugan is part of traditional mythology and folklore. This is a total distraction, by the way, but it's interesting stuff, so I'm going to share it with you. The Bugan is a black mist-like small giant who lives on a large rock at the foot of a very steep cliff, which in ancient times was a very popular spot for young lovers who were being denied by the community their love to kind of throw themselves over the cliff. You know, it's the sort of things people do now and again. But it's a very attractive part of the island, which is a very attractive part of the world, and wherever we are, never forget, it's so easy to overlook what we've got on our own doorstep, wherever we live, whether it be a cold climate or a hot climate. And in doing so, we're that busy making plans to go to other parts of the world, we forget to explore and fully appreciate our own part of the world. So, that appreciation. This is really the hub of my conversation now. And part of it is the kind of appreciation of life. The opportunities we're given, the hand we're dealt with, it can vary. Some people can get a really good hand in life and play it badly. Other people can get a bad hand and play it the best they can. And when you actually add it up, we don't need much in life. Water, food, shelter, and a little bit of company when we need it, and a few luxuries, but too many luxuries, and there's no luxury left about it. It becomes the common, the taken for granted. And when, as discussed in previous videos, we take the time out to centre ourselves, a bit of mindfulness, not quite meditation, although I do know some of the people that have done meditation and actually gone to quite uncomfortable places with it. I'll know more about that later. But when we're using mindfulness, when we're being stoic in the way we live, and when we discover and develop our gravity, our personal centeredness, not being self-centered, not being selfish, but centering oneself to get to know ourselves better, which is something we continue to do all our lives. We have to be honest with ourselves, and in doing so, we take the luck that we've been given in life through circumstances, and we're now in a better position to make the most of it. It's as simple as that. Because this mindfulness, being pragmatic and having this sense of personal gravity, these things, they're not huge in themselves, but put them all together and they amplify one another. And this means that through the journey of life, we are able to make more with what we've got. Now, it may seem a little bit, oh, there goes some bikers. Got some bikers arriving. The Isle of Man is home to the TT. It's mental. I'll maybe show you a bit of the TT later in the year. It's only 7 weeks away. I could not go flying around public roads in excess of 180 miles an hour. It's just not me. Anyway, I'm going to conclude this video now by suggesting that if we take that mindfulness, stoicism and gravity that we are developing over time and continue to develop, we never reach a moment that we stop. We will reach a point where we can get out of bed in the morning with a purpose in life. Now, this is the nub. Whatever society and community we live in, we will be given a purpose. But that purpose is to suit other people. That purpose is not dovetailed, and it is not bespoke to who we are as individuals. And we all need a reason to get out of bed in the morning and embrace our days. We have a simple, stark choice. Either we get out of bed to suit other people's purposes and other people's reasons, or alternatively, and beside her, this is what happens beside a road. Oh, wonderful. We get out of bed to suit other people's reasons, but we must make space to be getting out of bed in the morning for our own reasons. We all need motivation. We all need a purpose in life. And the most important purpose is the one that we make for ourselves, rather than the one that's handed to us to suit others who simply, at the end of the day, want to exploit us. Whether we do our own thing or we do something positive within our community, it may seem very small, it may seem very little, but it adds up over time. And there is a wealth in it, an invaluable wealth, which is very hard initially to define, but over time it becomes more visible and it is easier to measure. And people who have a purpose in life, no matter what their circumstances or their health or the challenges that they face us, these people having a profound reason to live rather than applied reasons to exist. And I know it's a bit dramatic way of putting it, but it's true. We'll live fuller, longer lives and then transition to the next reality far more easily, because they can let go of this reality having experienced it fully. I hope you found this little bit of philosophy useful. What I'm doing is taking some of the teachings of classic philosophers, and it's not just the Greeks, there's a lot more than the Greeks involved, thinking them through, putting them in a contemporary perspective, and then presenting them to you without it getting convoluted, academic, all wordsy, you know, all these impractical words that pretentious smart people would use, partly to intimidate less intelligent, supposedly, folk like ourselves. And what a beautiful day. That, by the way, is the Irish Sea. It's a shallow sea. It didn't used to exist about 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, until the polar ice caps in the North Pole melted And it's very interesting to go online and look at global maps from a different perspective than the one we are given and the one we are presumed to use. I'm going to leave it at that now. Enough said. Thank you for watching. If you haven't, please subscribe. If you want to, click like. And if you feel inspired, do leave a comment, because I'll be reading these comments and I may well respond to you. We'll see how it goes. See you soon, gainers. I'll leave you with a view.